Hello and welcome to this Plan With Me video for my January 2018 bullet journal setup. I am planning in a navy Leuchtturm 1917 A5 dotted, and I wanted to start my January section with a watercolor of my selected theme, mountains. I wanted to pick something that still felt like winter, as it has been extremely cold in Canada this past month. I'm just using a very inexpensive set of watercolors I picked up from Blitsy with a Prima watercolor brush pen. I will link all the supplies I use in this Plan With Me in order of their appearance in the description box below. I started this painting with blues, doing a wash over my water and the sky behind the mountain. I then went in to do a first layer of grays on my mountains with a bit of shading. For my trees, I wanted to incorporate a couple tones of green to add some depth to my forest without having to go too saturated with my colors. I then added a reflection in the water of my trees and mountains, and I went back in with additional gray and blue to add more depth. To finish, I went in with my Tombow Fudenosuke brush pen in the soft tip to letter January and my Uniball 1mm white gel pen to add highlights. To glue my watercolor into my journal, I used my Tombow Mono permanent adhesive runner to add glue to the back, then placed it in my journal aligned with the dot grid. For those interested, the dot grid is 13 centimeters by 19 centimeters. For my monthly layout, I wanted to try the traditional vertical spread split into both areas of my business. I swapped my hardtip Fudenosuke brush pen so that I could letter my smaller headers, and then used my Faber-castell Artist Pitt pen in S to complete the days of the month. To give a pop of color, I used my Tombow dual brush pen in 5-8 True Blue for the lines. This brush pen is available as a single and in the landscape pack. I then used the bullet tip of M25 Lamp Black to add larger dots to shade my mountains. If you do a pencil sketch beforehand, give these markers a couple minutes to dry before trying to erase, or they will smudge slightly. I tried adding some gray dots with one of my Crayola Super Tip markers, but I decided I didn't like the look, so I didn't repeat it on the later pages. I wanted to try an ideal day spread after seeing it on My Life in a Bullet's Plan With Me for September, where she also did a gorgeous mountain theme that inspired me for this video. I've linked her YouTube channel in the description below. Since my schedule can be pretty varied, I've got two options, one for weekday and weekend, and I hope to use these as a guide for structuring my day. I haven't filled in the middles as of yet, as I'm waiting on a new pack of Staedtler Tri-Press Fineliner pens, and will likely be swapping color codes for certain tasks and activities. My expense tracker is pretty simple, as I mainly want a space to separately track business expenses and income from my personal purchases. I have 2 columns for my graphic design and my print shop, and 2 columns to indicate income or expenses. I also have a space to note starting balance, ending balance, and savings from the month. I wanted to include a spread that would let me track projects from their start to completion to see how I'm managing my time and planning. This is also an additional aid in seeing if I've been invoiced or paid by clients. Each section is a bit different to allow me to track what sizes I am making for printables. I'm using both the bullet tip and the brush tip for this section of the page just so I can have a better visual divider in between the 2 sections. I went a bit out of order after this, as I really wanted to line the sketch I did around some washi tape from my brain dump page. I did a small doodle of the mountains and then did some leaf designs around the edge, keeping it more or less symmetrical on each side. Apparently washi tape from the Recollections line at Michael's is too sticky for this paper, so if you do use it for this purpose, stick it once on your desk or another object before you place it in your journal. To fix the tear I made, I measured the space and cut some watercolor paper to size, using my Tombow Mono permanent adhesive runner to stick it into place. I went with watercolor weight paper just in case I feel like painting on it later this month. At the bottom of the page, I have a couple trackers for various social media platforms for my graphic design and my print shop. I use the Staedtler Mars plastic eraser to remove any pencil marks from my sketches. For my tracker page, I did a mix of a habit and pain tracker and used icons for things I'd like to track each day, including email, social media, waking up early, and learning. This spread was inspired by In Liquid Color's December plan with me, as I loved her use of icons to save space. think my weekly spread was my favorite due to simplicity, and it let me try a vertical planning layout for this week. I drew a smaller calendar to give me a visualization of where the week was in the month, and then I did columns 6 boxes wide for Monday to Sunday, and a section for next week. Because I couldn't leave my bullet journal without at least some washi tape, I've added a bit of gold foil cat washi from Michael's along the top. Overall, I'm pretty happy with how this month turned out, and I'm excited to keep trying different weekly spreads throughout the month to see which layout is the most efficient for my planning style. Thank you for watching, and I can't wait to share my next video.